Great. Hi, guys. This is Marty Sakata. Welcome to day 2 of our family office forum in New York. Yesterday was a very exciting day, and we had some great discussions. Nothing ended up in fisticuffs, although we got close to it. But we're really happy that you're back for day 2. Day 2 is going to be pretty jam-packed. As you know, we are always leading edge in terms of what we look at from an investment point of view. So we have a couple of discussions on NFTs. Really have a great gaming panel that's coming up, or it's alternative media, with people talking about whether the economics of podcasting as well as the economics of gaming, which, as you know, have just become this humongous industry. So maybe 15 years ago, we had like a panel in LA with a bunch of guys in the movie industry and a bunch of guys in the gaming industry, and the movie guys were talking about how gaming was kind of interesting because you could build a game around a movie, but now they make movies around games. And so we're going to have a discussion on that with some really great guys out of California who know their stuff backwards and forwards. Then we have a bunch of discussions on NFTs and crypto. So I've got some great California guys talking about NFTs. They kind of been leading the way. Let me just see what else I have here on my schedule. So we're also looking at some, cutting edge discussions on some branding topics. We'll have Ellis Dayskin Science speaking with regards to what they're doing. Shailja Dixit is going to be talking about Curio Digital Therapeutics. Digital therapeutics is a fast emerging space in the healthcare industry, so we're looking forward to that. We've got a great discussion happening on deep tech, which is AI, big data, robotics, space, et cetera. So many of you might have seen Jack Wu in the past. And so he runs a fleet of AI-enabled robot drones that are 24/7 able to secure spaces, and he's selling them right now to the top 500,000 secure U.S. spaces. So he'll be part of that. There's a great discussion in Silicon Valley about how far fintech is going to go and DeFi for the Silicon Valley people. I think that their perspective towards DeFi is like nth degree. New York might have a little bit of a different perspective with regards to fintech and their approach to it. Love to see the diversity and perspective. So that's going to be a fantastic discussion. And then we're going to end the day with 6 family offices talking about how they invest directly. And I think that looking at their criteria for investment is always something to ponder and the approach, because it's really not simple. Right, to become a family office where maybe you invested historically in private equity, and now all of a sudden you're investing directly rather than to a private equity fund. So just another quick rundown. We are running events. We have an event in Baltimore on August 12th. We're going to be in San Francisco on September 8th and 9th. We're going to be back in New York on October 13th and 14th. And then we're back in Miami for a 2-day event at Art Basel on November 29th and 30th. Got a tentative date to be in LA on December 15th and 16th. And then we'll be back in San Francisco for JP Morgan Healthcare Week, which we love. And that's going to be, I think, the 11th and 12th. I'm not sure yet. We're going to iron that out. So Brian Forman is here. He's going to introduce our hosting firm, Morrison Cohen, which we like to refer to as MoCo. And so, Brian, why don't you get started? Tell us about yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Marty, for having us here. We really appreciate the opportunity to host the IvyFON Family Office Trends Forum this year. It's a real pleasure to be back in person for the most part. The only reason I'm not there is because I'm taking my kids up to camp this weekend, and any sort of risk of infection, even though I'm fully vaccinated, is a little bit too much for my wife, who would rather have a serious injury than actually take one of the kids back home after a positive test on Sunday. So I'm at home, but feeling very much present in person over there. I thought for the introduction, it would be nice for me to tell my personal story a little bit over the last year, because it's a somewhat uplifting story. I'm new to MoCo. I actually joined in August 2020 during the pandemic. After an interview process that started in January 2020, definitely stalled a little bit once the pandemic started, leaving me with a lot of anxiety and disappointment, because I thought that this great opportunity was slipping through my fingers. But finally, I ended up joining the firm in August 2020, and I'm finally approaching my 1-year anniversary. I feel like I've been here for years. And the reason it's such a great story to tell here and now is starting a job during a pandemic like this, working remotely, would seem to be something that's extremely difficult to do. And it was to some extent, but for a couple of reasons. I think the main one being a testament to the firm and how welcoming everyone was, but a lot of it having to do with humanity and how we were able to get through this pandemic together through technology, through connectivity, and through supporting one another in collegiality has enabled me to be successful integrating to the firm to the point where it's going to be strange when we get back into the office, because I'm actually going to meet a lot of people, probably 90% of my colleagues face to face for the first time, when I feel like I've known them for years. And that says something, again, both about us as people and about the firm itself. So just to use my opportunity to say something about the firm, and I apologize to Charlie and Michael, because I know we're in our own time. These were my welcome remarks that I had prepared. MoCo is an interesting and unique law firm in New York City. We're a little over 100 lawyers, which would leave us categorized as a mid-sized firm. But unlike most mid-sized firms, which really specialize in one or two, maybe 3 or 4 areas, we have the same exact experience as most of the big firms out there. We have a very, very deep bench, cross-disciplinary approach with practice areas that cover the entire gamut. And we actually have a family office practice, which is the reason for this type of synergy, why we want to host this event, which is a cross-disciplinary practice that touches all aspects that might be of interest to family offices. Investment management, obviously, that's my area, regulatory, fund formation, but there's real estate, there's litigation, there's bankruptcy, there's trust and estate planning. As David Scharf mentioned yesterday, it really is a cross-disciplinary and collaborative firm, which enables us to provide a full suite of services to our clients. And because we are a bit smaller and more nimble, we do pride ourselves on giving partner level attention to all of our clients. And our business model is a little different than some of the other firms. We're not highly leveraged with junior associates. We really like to get our hands dirty, get in the weeds, and provide high quality, collaborative, collegial advice to our clients. We've had a lot of recent successes during the pandemic, a couple of emergences from bankruptcy, some of our clients getting good results out of bankruptcy court, a couple of high profile acquisitions recently, which we're very good on LinkedIn publicizing the things that we're doing. So I definitely encourage all of you to look at our page and see all of our recent successes. But then in terms of extracurricular activities, we do a lot also. Actually, today we're hosting something different than the IvyFON conference. We actually have a special talk with a woman named Stephanie LaCroix, who's a staff attorney at Immigration Equality. And we're going to be talking about immigration issues and LGBTQ issues and how it affects HIV positive immigration. And we also just recently joined the law firm Anti-Racism Alliance, and we have a dedicated attorney, Alvin Lin, who heads that up and is essentially responsible for all of our social justice initiatives. So aside from doing good work for each other and for our clients, we try to do a little good for the world as well. And that makes me feel very, very positive about the place that I chose to work last year. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. It's a little odd seeing 4 people on the screen, but presenting to 450 people without the thunderous applause for everything that I'm saying right now. But I'm imagining all of you clapping behind your screens. And I look forward to presenting to you twice today in our panels. So I'm going to hand it back to Marty for a second before we get started on the private equity trends for 2021.
Hey, Brian, we're all clapping for you here. Thanks so much. Anyway, so really great to introduce yourself, and I'm Travis.